Welcome back to Backstage with growX. ये तो बड़ा मुश्किल है यार ये आ रहा है पेपर क्या? हाँ हाँ ये नहीं, बस मैं सिर्फ इंट्रो के लिए वो करूंगा, फिर मैं उठा लूंगा. ठीक है, जस्ट फॉर द इंट्रो, आफ्टर दैट इज ऑल गुड, राइट? हाँ ठीक है. हाँ या चश्मे उतार दूं इंटरव्यू के लिए? चलो ओके, लेट्स डू इट.
नॉट अ बैड आइडिया अगर आपने पढ़ ही लिया तो.
नहीं ठीक है, लेट्स डू इट. ठीक है, चलो स्टार्ट. Welcome to Backstage with growX. Today we're not discussing about robots or satellites. We're discussing about a product which allows fruits and vegetables to stay fresh for much longer and therefore travel for much longer as well. My name is Ashish Taneja. I'm the founder of growX, and today I'm joined with Tarak Ramji, who's the founder of PeelON, who's going to discuss with us what he's built, what he's developed over the last several years, you know, the magical solution which kind of keeps the fresh and vegetables alive. I'm also joined with Manish Gupta, my partner in crime at growX, who over the years have developed this knack of finding these unsexy, startups from across India and, using them to kind of disrupt global industries. Thank you very much for joining us today. And, like I say, I like to say, let's peel on. Yeah. Tarak, welcome to Backstage with growX. Let's start with basics. What is PeelON all about? What are you building? Tell us more about it.
Yeah. Thanks, Ashish, also for having me here. So PeelON, to simplify, it's a compostable, completely biodegradable packaging solution. So that increases the shelf life of the produce up to 3 times. As you can imagine, so majorly delays the ripening. Also keeping them fresh, and also have antimicrobial properties, preventing any kinds of infection during transportations or during export, in the supply of fresh produce supply chain.
We want to dive more into the science behind this. It sounds all very simple, but obviously it is not. There's a lot of complexity. But I'm keen to understand what made you curious about solving this problem. How did this idea came about, right?
Why PeelON?
Why PeelON?
Yeah. It's a fair question. Even I asked the same. As a scientist, that's one. Like we always look for problems that could where we can put our knowledge and the technical skills we have developed by training into real world problems to solve them and figure out like what we could do. And so that's where food waste is one of the a global problem. So when you see food waste is it's like we waste almost $2.4 trillion in food waste every year, which is huge. And globally, there is definitely an alarming need of finding a solution for that. So that's where we started. Okay, so where is the problem? So it's always like when you, even in science or even in applications, it's mostly 90% we understand the problem, and then 10% it's always easy to solve it. So that's where we wanted to understand more in detail the problem of food waste. And during COVID, I think it's everybody got enough time to actually reflect on what we are doing and what are we doing in this world, and all these climate changes and everything.
So this truly is a 2020 COVID baby.
Yes.
PeelON. And was it also to do with that, your mangoes weren't reaching your
that's also one. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. So that's a good point you have raised. Yeah. So it's I stayed. So I lived in Europe for almost 10 years,
right.
A decade.
Right.
And I love mangoes.
Right.
Right. I'm from Andhra, so
right.
I used to get a good variety
right.
Of mangoes,
right.
Where every summer I enjoy them.
Right.
But unfortunately, when I was in Europe, I always get mangoes from different regions, from
right.
South America.
Sure.
But not from India. Yeah. So that's where I literally stopped eeting mangoes because right. I don't want to lose the taste of right. memory. That's a sweet memory which I had, which I don't want to spoil with any right. other type of mangoes.
Right. Right.
So that's also one a kind of motivation.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah. Interesting. And was it only you thinking about developing the solution? Did you have someone in your team, your founding team, and you guys brainstormed and figured out that this is the problem to solve?
Yeah. So my other co-founder Ravi. So he's also a scientist turned entrepreneur. So we have known each other for almost 10 years. So the reason also why we have been working together is because we think in a similar way. In a point where when we say it's just we look for problems. That's where that's how I came to him saying that see this is one problem like which I'm facing, which it's a world is facing. It's a global challenge, and I see that as a good opportunity for us to work upon, like to see if we can find a solution for that.
And this is your third startup, or your second startup, and you've been involved in a similar field earlier, biotech, aquaculture. Did that have a role or the influence in what you're building today? Are there learnings which you kind of transported from those years of work behind you to kind of build PeelON into a better organization, a better setup?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
So in a point where of translating, so one is like developing in the lab and understanding the problem, like finding a solution is one aspect of it. But translating it to real life scenarios, applying with the customers, talking to customers, it's the most painful part, and like make them understand, educate them. So that's an important aspect which we learning by doing. Right. So that's one important thing which we actually learned from the previous startup. Always in coordination with the market, taking feedback and then coming back. So this continuous feedback loops helped us to make the product, like streamline the product in a much better way.
Right. So what is PeelON? Physically, what does it look like?
It's as simple as the plastic packaging, what you see.
It looks like a plastic packaging.
It's almost, yeah.
But it's not plastic.
It's not plastic.
You are a PhD. Your colleague, your founder, Ravi, is a scientist himself. Both have some serious body of work, right?
Right.
Help us, in a very simplistic way, understand the science behind it. How is this packaging of yours truly solving for, the problems you spoke about? Food wastage, shelf life enhancement, natural aging or controlling the aging process. How is this happening? Because there's a lot more.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So when you look at the produce supply chain, so it's fruits or vegetables when you look, or even leafy greens. So they are all live, right? So they are like live organisms. So whenever you pluck them from the tree, or it could be plant or anything, so it's it's a natural process is to like age and then die and then regenerate. So that's a natural aspect of it. So here, what from our from my previous studies, or I worked on plant biology as
Right.
mentioned. So it's a plant stress biology. So we were trying to understand how plant defenses or plant can withstand, because plants over a million of years have naturally evolved to protect themselves from the natural calamities and to survival of the fittest, as I said. So that's where we got the insights. So so we know that nature has already the solution for age-old problems what we have been facing in the supply chain. So that's where we took that insights. We changed the forms and then we provide in the simpler way as the form of packaging.
But what parameters are you playing with?
Yeah. So majorly, our solution acts on the stomata, stomatal region, which is an important for fruits or vegetables. For
pores on the surface of
the in a simpler way.
Yeah, just like humans,
Yes, fruits and vegetables has the pores.
Yes.
So where the moisture is released, and then all the respiration and the aging process, the consecutive metabolic process happens. Right. So we have been targeting that region where it could delay. One is the ethylene, it's a scavenging activity. That's one. And then additionally the respiration rate, which also consecutively also to the other raw cycles and other aspect, which results in the aging process of the fruit or vegetables, and ultimately decreasing.
So multiple things. You spoke about stomato level interaction. You're talking about moisture reduction, ethylene reduction. Avoiding infections which could go in there. All this in a simple packaging solution, which looks like plastic.
That's right.
That's commendable.
Yeah.
And would love to see it if you have it. And try to feel it in terms of what it looks like. Maybe a little later in the thing. I'm sure the audience would like to see in terms of what it works like.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But Manish, when you heard this for the first time, you guys met a few months ago. What was your first reaction? What came to your head? A lot of us VCs, we end up sometimes looking for trends, sometimes looking for waves. This is completely a wave. Yeah. And I'm keen to understand, what was your first reaction? How did you start thinking about evaluating a company like this? What went in?
So first of all, we met Tarka through one of our other founders who is himself a PhD. So, came with great recommendation. So we started off a good start. First meeting, obviously, we're just trying to understand the basics. Idea in every first meeting is to make sure, I don't know.
No, that's okay, carry on.
Sorry, what's your question again?
I also need to refer back, Manish. What was the first reaction in a simple way when you met Tarak and Ravi? And when they kind of explained to you the power of PeelON.
Yeah, so at least over the years, I have developed this philosophy of looking everything bottom up. It's never that we're looking at a sexy space or space tech or robotics or semiconductors. The starting point is always great founders with a serious level of innovation. And that's what we saw. That's what made us interested. That's what kept us interested beyond the first meeting. Definitely, there were elements of sustainability, patents being filed, technology being almost ready. Those were there, but obviously it's the founding team which is very important, because you have a team which are scientists, which are PhDs, but they don't come with a pure academic flavor. They have done businesses before. They've run businesses before. Though they have been on an entrepreneurial journey for some time already. So it makes the all the process also easier for us to say, yes, can you do this? And one of the important things what we noticed early on was, a scientist which is sitting in Mexico and sitting in different parts of the world and trying to sell products, right? Trying to cultivate customers as early as that, right? So sometimes even mainstream IITs and MBAs founders sometimes don't do that slightly later in their life cycle, and here he was, at the cusp of creating, taking the technology from a product, but already talking to customers and baking that feedback into the product, which is also something we also believe that when you do deep tech, you have to start taking customer feedback as early as possible. And, that's another thing we liked.
And did you have a feeling this is too good to be true?
Of course, with most of the things it is. And so, we did go through the patents ourselves. We got some of our friends to go through the patents,
right?
Just to get a hang of that, if the technology,
right.
What we're talking about is
right.
real. And then, of course, we don't want to invest at a stage where the science is not proven.
Correct.
So, sorry, by the time, we started interacting, we took a decision to, work together. There were already proof points of the technology working, the product, working out, right?
Even customers saying it's too good to be true.
Right. Yeah. So no, we'll talk about the customers thing as well. But this is a side thing. I remember when we did Pixel, we said the first satellite was a launch, they should have growX logo. Any similar demands with PeelON? Create packaging to improve us. Nothing like that so far, but it's coming your way.
He's working on
protecting the humans as well.
He's working on next product. He's working on flowers, then meat, then bread, and then now humans.
Calm down. We will cover all that as we scale. But when you started this, when you were in a lab with Ravi and a few of your colleagues, I'm sure it felt like weird tech. There are multiple components or parameters you're playing with, and it's not showing up with the desired output, right? There's got to be one big technical breakthrough, right? That said, hey, this is now doable. this can happen. What was that moment? What was that stage? How long did it take? Tell us about that.
Well, I mean, it's not really, I wouldn't say, because in science, like we never have like we always make mistakes, and then actually mistakes helps you to
sure.
make you find the solution right. So a little bit of backstory. So we initially started as a coating company. So we actually developed edible coating. So that's how. So we know the core ingredients which can actually have all this functionality as we have been talking. So we took and then we made a matrix to actually coat, produce, and we were excited. We never thought that it would actually work. It actually worked. So Ravi was excited. The first the vegetable we tried is actually fruit, but it's a tomato. And then he was excited. So that's where like, okay, this is working. So we never thought about it.
Right.
So that's one. That's the starting point. And then the next, we went back to the customers. So, I mean, this is something, the key learning what we had from our previous venture, always stay in touch with the customers.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So that's where we went back to the customers asking, okay, so like, can you try the solution, see like if it works for you?
Yeah.
So that's where we also found, so it's working great. It's an extra capex investment, spraying each and every fruits and vegetables. Apart from that, like what we noticed unusual was, irrespective of coating or not coating, they've been using plastics. So that's where we thought, like, why not integrating into the packaging system itself? Like instead of coating, like all these things, it's just let's make it easy for the people. So to make it, we always convenience is an important aspect. Anyway, we are already putting extra element into the into this fruits and vegetable transport and everything, right?
Extra steps also in the process.
In the process. So we have to reduce it. We have to make it more convenient, more affordable. So this has always been our back end, as both founders we know when we talk to customers. So that's where we got the idea, like, why not integrate it with the packaging? So we went back again to the lab. So we worked out like different trials. So we came up with a new packaging. Like we actually, Ravi got the inspiration from one of the sweets from Andhra. So that, okay, we can make it in the form of packaging. It's a sweet which is made from starch based.
Okay.
Once.
What is it called?
Okay. Something with P, right? Something with P.
Yeah.
I had it, yeah.
So, no.
No?
That's all right.
I forgot.
We'll call Ravi after. Call a friend.
It's from specifically from a specific it's a region from Andhra, from Rajahmundry itself. So that's that's where he also got inspiration. So why not trying it? He and his wife, like, they started at home.
Right.
So he was visiting his in-laws, and then he tried it out, and then it worked. And then he called me back. It's like it can work like this.
Wow.
So then I started to look back, and then we started work. So that's like the two like aha moments where we really changed.
And all in all, from to get to this edible coating point to now the final PeelON solution, what kind of time frame? How many hours in the lab? How many iterations? Yeah,
it's hard to say. It's again like iterations. Like many. It's like thousands to probably millions. I don't know. But ours is also like we always work passionately. So to see like we never cared like, okay, how much time is it? Like, we never counted. So we never got paid. So that's why we didn't care. Right. So that's
And now where you are, the edible coating or the coating solution exists today. There are multiple players globally that offer similar solutions. Whereas this packaging, are you one of the few, a handful with a product like this globally?
That's right.
So this is a tech which is hard to replicate as well?
Yes.
And you strongly believe that?
At least from the global market, yes.
Yes. Okay.
We have been in the global market at least in the last 2 years.
Right.
So
So you talk about this, that it's about keeping an eye. Manish also spoke about interacting with customers, taking that feedback, which is important, right? The first customer, for the edible coating thing, how did he knock on that door? Who was that guy? How did he identify that could be relevant? And were they tens of rejections before that, before this fellow said, okay, let me just try what you built.
Mhm.
Yeah. What was the experience?
It was like one of our like friends we met in US itself. So that's where we started. We never started in India, even though we did develop in India itself. We started with the US market. Given I'll come to that point why not India. But like, yeah, we started first in US. It's a very straightforward, like, okay, let's start with the retail guys who has already selling the produce. So it was more of a like go approach inner circle, like, hey, so we have this solution, like, is it interesting for you? I mean, since it's a couple of fruits, so and also since it's an inner circle, so they were willing to try. So they tried, they're happy, they found it interesting. I was okay, this is something interesting. We just quote and then like it increasing shelf life of some exotic fruits. So that's how we initially started.
Very interesting. And yeah, but you spoke about this from a customer perspective. Now with the current solution, share some experiences where they said this works, and what was the testing like? What was your involvement like? How did you have to prove it? You know, because the first question you'll ask is, hey, this can't be true. Are the chemicals, are they damaging the properties of the fruit or the vegetable?
Changing the flavor.
I think, yeah, absolutely.
So
these are all
there are tens of questions, right?
Absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
It's all anything new, and that is it's food. Food is very sensitive, right?
Right.
Produce, it's fruits and vegetables,
Right.
which you eat directly. So it's a very sensitive thing. So we are also equally scared.
Right.
Like, are we like we should not kill anyone or
Yes.
at least hospitalize
Yes.
anyone, right?
Yeah.
That's an important aspect.
Yeah.
So we wanted to make sure like it's a food safe. So we did our initial food safe thing.
Yes.
Tests, so to make sure like we're not liable for any of these problems.
Right.
So that's like we did a preliminary things and then we went to the market. So the initial customer interaction, it's also actually came from a client itself. So one of the like interesting one was this cilantro, coriander, or broccoli. So they export from Mexico to US. That's like Mexico exports major like vegetables to US. Almost 65% of the export come to US from Mexico itself, since it's a land based and everything. So the client asks us, so your product looks very interesting. The packaging looks very interesting. You're saying shelf life increase and everything. So we wanted to try. So the initial was peeled jackfruit. So that's like one he was trying. Additionally, he somehow thought that why not trying it on our leafy greens? He also exporting leafy greens like cilantro and broccoli. So he tried on that, and then the common practice is to use a lot of ice.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of ice, and then he instead of ice, so he used our packaging and then exported it. And then it was a shocking moment for him. It was because it was almost 2 to 3 decades they have been using ice, and suddenly they used PeelON packaging, and then there is no requirement of ice.
No ice.
And then the shelf life was usually they get it for 10 days, and he was getting it for 21, almost a month. He was like, dude, this solution is like freaking awesome. So this is exactly his like he was so excited.
He wanted to buy you guys out.
He was like, can I have it? And so that's how actually started. It was our client discovered it that this solution can actually fit.
Did you have that expectation that this is what these the outcomes of the results would look like?
No, absolutely not. No. So
because you're not even tested this ice replacement and stuff like that. He just ended up using it.
Absolutely not. Like, so that's again like it's a client discovery rather than me as a like a founder. It's I mean, client finding themselves that it's a useful solution for them. It's a different aspect of it, right?
So risk taker of a client. Risk taker of a client that went all in trying to test it out. Well, what a story! What a story! And I'm sure that's kind of opened a lot of doors at the global level.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So Manish, Tarak, we're going to spend time on why going after the global market and not Indian market. But what got to you was that this is an Indian company, not selling in India, building for the globe. Again, thoughts around that. How do you prioritize these frameworks or these opportunities in your head? Going global versus an India playbook. And going global early, right? A lot of companies end up using India as a test bed. to say, let me use it, let me try it, etc., etc., get some validation, get my solution in place, and then go out. You started global first.
So I think for some of the domains, some of the technologies, you have to be global first. Most of the times your customers will be global. The competitors or alternatives they'll have will also be global. They'll have companies coming from Israel or Europe or across the world. Your follow-on money has to come from global investors later stage, and they themselves will have choices to invest in global competitors. Again, your supply chain more often than not is also global. Sometimes you end up hiring a lot of global talent for multiple different things. So you have to think global from day one. There are some businesses who have enough to do in India. Let's say we have a couple of companies in electrical vehicle, EV retrofitting space. There's enough to do in India, and in the first few years, then maybe we can get to Southeast Asia if at all. Whereas something like this, you have to think global from day one.
Fruits and vegetables are everywhere.
Fruits and vegetables.
And everybody eats it. So
Also, it's a global industry in the sense that there's a lot of exports, right? You grow one thing in one geography and then you export it to another one, right? So that supply chain is also very, very important, and obviously a little bit broken also, and very, very energy inefficient. So if you can, let's say, using PeelON product, if you can reduce the need for cold storage by a few degrees, then it saves a lot of energy. Or you took the example of ice, right? Ice is expensive. Ice is water. Mexico is a water-starved country, right? You save ice. You save weight and volume in a container. Can stuff in more, produce. You use less energy to transport from point A to point B, right? You reduce wastage of fruits and vegetables. That means you need to grow less, or or maybe you can feed more number of people. So those things also.
But all the problems we're talking about, yes, it's a global industry. There are inefficiencies, but the numbers in India just, you think of them, 40% goes to landfill. The amount of inefficiencies in the system, this is the place to go. I would imagine that the Western part of the world, the more evolved, the more sophisticated, the extent of wastage is not as significant. Is that true, or this is just in my head that?
Yes, so India is blessed with the golden soil. So that's also one aspect of it, where we get fruits and vegetables very quickly. We get it early in the morning at 3 a.m. and then everything is sold by afternoon 3 p.m.
Yeah.
Right? So that's we are blessed with such a amazing soil, so that we can literally grow any vegetables and fruits in our soil. So that's one aspect, where unless it's an export market, so it's not really a bigger need, because the fruits and vegetables are getting sold very quickly.
Interesting.
So
that's a very good point.
Unless it's moving from east to west or north to south. So that's one aspect of it.
Sure.
Which why we haven't looked into it.
Sure.
The second aspect of it is India, or in Asia in general. I'll not stereotype just in India, but also the whole Asia itself.
Yeah, sure.
It's a very price sensitive.
Yeah.
Anything first, it has to be cheap. So otherwise, we'll not even look at the product. I think you will hear it from all the founders who have been working in any segment you take. It has to be affordable.
Yes.
Unless it's not affordable, and it's not solving your problem, it is not worth even looking at. So that's how the Asian market or India market work, right? So that's something, a learning as well, from our previous venture. So there's other aspect as you were mentioning, in the West, in US or in Europe. So their cold supply chain is well established, because they import a lot from other countries, like South Europe, South Europe or even South America. So they are Caribbean islands, all this. So they import a lot. So that's why they established the cold supply chains very well. The variables which can change are less. So that makes our validating our solution much easier. So that we know, okay, this is control temperature, where we tried our solution and it works great.
Right.
So, okay. So we know that it works with a certain parameters.
But just to be clear, a lot of customers will come from India, which is that they'll be export oriented.
Fair.
Right.
And there's a lot which is happening in India.
And the day before we were talking about certain geographies where, for example, India grows a lot of bananas. They are not able to get bananas to those geographies because they are far, and the banana ends up which is very, very ripe. But with supplementing cold storage with PeelON product, we can get to those geographies also. We can increase our reach. So again, more export, but
No, so one we spoke about science, we spoke about product, we spoke about packaging, but I don't think so. If everyone's figured out how to visualize what this product is, is it on top of every fruit and vegetable? Is it on a box? Is it in a container? How does that solution work? So just help us understand that aspect as well.
Sure. So it's so the boxes usually the exports or during the transportation usually it goes in crates, which is usually 15 to 20 kilos. Boxes where you have fruits or vegetables or leafy greens or anything. We simply pack them.
The box gets packed. So the fruit and vegetable is not getting touched with your packaging anyway.
Oh, we get touched. The fruits and vegetables are kept inside the bag and then inside the crate.
Yeah, inside the crate. It's as simple as that. So it's a solution which is holistic cover overall. Yeah, interesting. Okay. The way you explain the benefits, your broccoli or the cilantro or the coriander example, there are clear benefits, but it's still difficult to sell. Right? Market adoption is not straightforward that you walk in and saying, hey, here are the benefits. In India could be price sensitive, and I'm sure global also. There's an additional cost to this packaging, and people are conscious about that. We spoke about the issues involved. There is skepticism. Is it real or not? So and there's inertia. My solution is working. Let it go on. Why should it change? What's been the hardest thing for you to solve for?
Okay, it's a good point. So the key problem we have been challenged the adoption. So first, like in the West, it's like it's too good to be true. How can it replace ice? I mean, we have been using it for 2-3 decades. How can we replace? We still see the challenges. Like even though it is much validated, nicely validated by other customers, people still think. What if like ice is not there, my produce is not fresh.
Right.
The buyers are like that. So that's one aspect of it. I'll come to India as well. So we managed to reduce the price by changing our chemistry and scaling up and everything.
Right.
So we even managed to tap Indian export market as well. One best example, as he was mentioning, the banana market. So India is one of the largest producers of bananas. 25% of world bananas are produced in India.
25%
of world global bananas are produced in India. It's really a proud thing, which I didn't know till working with this market. So and we export only less than 5% of it.
Oh,
and I for a moment I thought like, do we eat all the bananas? Like what we produce?
I'm trying to figure that out as well.
No, we do eat a lot.
We do eat a lot. For any festival, any event you take, we have bananas, right? And we have more than like 30 banana varieties.
But you can put it together. There's a lot of wastage.
Yes, that's true. Yeah. So coming back to the point is export markets. So what in the exports of bananas, so they need a extended green shelf life, right? The green bananas is exported and then ripened and then supplied it to the customers. That's a usual process. So the green, they need at least from 15 to 30, 40 days, depending on the destination. So that's the usual time range what they look for. So what they do, it's very simple. They use the poly bags, simple plastic bags with a ethylene sachet in it to delay the ripening process. So it absorbs ethylene, so it delays the ripening so that they can transport to 20 days, 30 days to different destinations. India usually exports it to Middle Eastern market because it's close by. And then any problems, which is like if it's less than 15-20 days, right? So we are simply replacing this poly bags plus ethylene sachet with our bags, right? It's as simple as you, if you think about it, it's as simple as that. But people don't want to change. It's like, I don't want to change. It's, I mean, I'll tell you the exact response of the customer. One of the largest exporter of India, banana exporters, they use also technology and then they say, we don't want to change the technology. So what is there? The other founder was asking the questions like, what technology are you? You're just using stupid poly bag, and then you're saying you're using a technology. You don't want to change the technology, right? It is so nonsensical when you think about
But
it.
you can't get upset.
But it's
you have to indulge the customer. You're going to work with them.
You have to educate the customer again. It's like, dude, this is just you're replacing your stupid poly bag with a more environmental friendly.
Also, it's important
with the same price.
Who are you talking to, right? If you end up talking to people whose KRA is to not increase the cost of procurement, the procurement people, they say they don't want to spend more than what they spend for procuring plastic. Right? We can't obviously sell at that prices. So we need to talk to the right stakeholders who understand that using PeelON product, our produce will reach fresher and greener. We can charge higher from the customers. The weight reduction will be lower compared to normal shipping. So your top line is higher, hence your bottom line is definitely higher. So those kind of, there'll be less fungus, let's say in bananas case. So you'll see better top line, but all those, it takes time to translate.
Manish is very excited about bananas in particular. There was a time he used to eat 12, 14 bananas in a single day.
6. I
think it's everyone in India.
Now he's a little older, so he's been told just to cut down on that. Why would you stop?
The highest selling fruit on any quick commerce app is banana.
Banana, is it?
We finish it by
probably he's trying to avoid the wastage. We are producing anyway.
We actually had a company as well. We still investors in that company, and they started Sunny Bananas. They had to fold up that part of the business, but bananas is part of us.
And one of the problems they were also struggling with was ripening.
That was a huge problem. And so here we are solving for that. But did you ever imagine your day getting into, thinking about bananas and humidity levels and
no, we are
the
thinking more like
mangoes and
no, we are thinking more like avocados and broccoli.
More exotic.
Yeah. Well, what are you? I wanted to talk about this. VCs like to put every startup into a sort of a framework, slot you in a machine. So, you're an alternate material company, you're a deep science company, you're something else, technology. And how do you slot yourself?
Do you want me to answer?
Yeah, a sustainability company. Because you got to pitch. You got to pitch to the investors. Right? I'll ask Manish in terms of where do you slot yourself? Do you even bother about slotting yourself?
So I would say it's a. Let me phrase it in a better way. So we are a material science company. We are a technology innovator with a sustainability focused.
Okay. So you got all three elements.
All 3 elements. So we lie in the intersection of covering most of the things, which all the buzzwords which you're speaking about.
Element of AI?
that we're working on in the background.
How would you position?
I honestly do not think too much PeelON to be much of a material science company because in my head, the innovation is in a certain compound, in a certain enzyme, which gets, which becomes part of your regular packaging. It's more like plug and play.
Right.
Material science companies tend to sometimes disrupt on the form factor and the use case also. But yes, sustainability is a flavor of the season. Yes, it's easier to convince the IC with sustainability. But obviously, I think deep technology companies, I would say, where rare companies where the product is ready so early on and already in the hands of customers.
Yeah. Okay. So, we'll spend some more time around that. But he used the word for the IC to get convinced. The investment committee of a venture fund. But the IC always asks, what are the threats in this business? What could go wrong in this business? What's the next level of disruption that could happen that? What's your perspective? So, trying to understand your defensibility, your moat, as PeelON, and, how do you think you can kind of be a truly global company and scale over the next few years?
Absolutely. Yeah. So again, we always we interact with the customers regularly to see so where are we looking so innovation is our key so given our backgrounds as scientists, we are not typical business persons. Just make money and then just move on. But it's more like innovation is what wakes me up in the morning for both of us as the founders. So that's one of the aspects is one aspect of it, we say okay, shelf life increasing. all these things. So we try to build this specific packaging. So additionally, as I've been interacting more and more with the different customers, so we have been like the need for the smart packaging has been evolving. So I mean, as simple, I can give you a little bit more like what could be like our next innovation could be. So as simple as salad packaging, for example. So as you know, like even in the metro cities here in Gurgaon or like Mumbai, anywhere you take this salad business has been growing, right? So it has been packaged nicely in a plastic bag or a US market or here. So there is a potential to have infections, right? E. coli or Listeria. These are the common infections which could result in serious hospitalization. It looks as simple, but like it could result in serious hospitalization or even death. There have been some reported deaths as well, like a couple of deaths a year in US actually because of salad. And even the Telefarms, which is the biggest salad company, they're still struggling with the legal battles. They got sued because they ended up with some of the salad bags ended up with Listeria infections.
Wow.
So this is also some aspect like can in the packaging itself can. One is preventing everything aspect of it. Like the other is like, can we also sense it and then show it for the customers so that like the companies are in a safe position and the customers know what they're buying. So that's a one smartness that active intelligent packing. So what we are already comes under category active intelligent packing. Right? So we improve it more further and further at an affordable price. So that's a people are willing to pay. So that's also what we see, right? So that they don't get sued for millions, right? So
no,
the
fair
companies.
You're solving
it's a big challenge.
Yeah, big challenge, and
it's completely a new market. And at the same time, it's also like preventing different the problems that could potentially arise.
How do you, as a founder, balance the next level of innovation while making sure that the first set of products, see market adoption, figure out scale, because that's where the revenues and
that's a common problem in all the early stage funding, like innovation constantly. So we started with the bulk crate liners. So that's the first product what we started with, and then the same customer started to ask me, it's like, can we also do a retail? We need to also sell. To one is like one we are buying, and then second is also like we have to sell it to our customers in a nice fancy way. It's a more consumer appealing, right? So that's the second aspect. So that's where we also went now getting into retail. So we try to always connect with the customers or existing that circle. So to constantly understand their needs so that we can design based on that. But as an early stage startup, it's always difficult to manage.
But you also balance, right? Same technology, different form factors is, let's say, more doable versus building a new product for, let's say, a different, the customers may want you to go after everything, but you need to strike the right balance.
Absolutely.
Interesting. And Manish, you've spoken a lot about, a bit about science, the product, the go-to-market. But again, going back to the growX decision, this is still, from our standard, a little out of the box, right? What clinched? What were the key aspects for you that kind of worked in and saying, yes, let's kind of go all in?
Not so much out of the box for me personally,
right?
Because banana is one of the
banana is in the box already. But no, when you look at something like space tech, 5-6 years back, or something like semiconductors 4 years back, or defense a couple of years back, or cybersecurity, all of those may look a little out of the box at that point of time. But as long as you are thinking bottom up, investing in good technology, good founders, disrupting the market, you see a market need, you see adoption happening. Of course, you need to figure out where do you come in the life cycle. Are you coming in too early, where the science is yet to be proven, or are you coming in at a point where you see where you know that now it's not a science risk, it's more of a adoption risk you're taking, and that at least there we can help out. So it's not so exotic for me personally. Having said that, I think what I said earlier, great founding team. The product is ready. That was very important for us.
That was a huge part.
Yes. And food is very basic. So we're trying to solve a very basic problem.
Yeah. Yeah. And is it deep enough on tech?
100%.
Explain.
No, explain what.
Why? Where the IP and the hard science and the productization and all.
See, we looked at a lot of competition,
Yeah.
a lot of companies. We
Yeah.
realized a lot of companies use a combination of either plastic packaging
Hmm.
or chemicals or sachets or sprays or everybody was. The problem is real. Everybody
Right.
has. A lot of people have attempted to solve the same problem
Right.
in different ways.
Yeah.
Here, this packaging, which is combining a lot of these, problem statements and giving one solution which can solve for multiple customer segments. So, we were talking about the supply chain, right? The other day, that 60-61% of fruits and vegetables get wasted during the supply chain, and there are many actors in the supply chain. The actors could be an aggregator who typically buys from a grower, stores it, then waits for the right buyer and sells it. Now, if without cold storage, now they can hold on to the produce for slightly longer with this packaging, get the right price, and then sell it, right? So it works differently for that set of customer. Somebody else, they were able to save on logistics cost, the ice, the cost of ice and the cost of logistics was important for somebody else, right? Somebody else supplemented existing cold storage, cold chain of bananas with this packaging to increase the length the produce can go to. So open up newer markets, right? So there are different ways you are able to solve for supply chain in the supply chain, and the customer segment is very, very wide. So at least we had clarity where it could be sold. A lot of companies, when we invest in deep tech, especially very early on, sometimes we have a vague sense of who the customer could be, or what the product could be, what the MVP could be. At least in this case,
That's clear.
that was more of a bit of a solved problem. Yeah.
So, just taking this forward, you started talking about the future markets you could open up, right? You said fruits and vegetables is a starting point. Rather than me putting those thoughts in there, tell me where can a tech like this extend?
Sure.
Yeah.
So, I mean, one of the key things is the perishables. Let's put it like in a very broad term, is the perishables.
And that includes your poultry
so one
and
is
meats
like fruits and vegetables. So that's where we started. So additionally, we want to move like into flowers market or into the other like meat or anything. I don't want to say being vegan. I don't want to get into the market, but like still, it's one of the other like. It could be meat or seafood, or it could be even bakery items as well. So these are the different markets. It's like specifically on the perishables, which get spoiled very quickly.
So I can imagine the fruits and vegetables extending to flowers, but this tech extending to the meat and the poultry market or the
it's
seafood
completely
market.
Different chemistry biology involved in it.
Yeah. So that requires
a lot of R&D
going back to the lab, going back to the R&D and just building it up. But you feel that you're equipped to kind of deal with that as well at the right point of time. Yeah. Are the people attempting?
There is yes and no.
Yeah.
Again, it's just to give you a little bit of context. Is even like fruits and vegetables, there has been almost zero innovation in last 10-15 years. So the technologies which are already there, it's just company rebrands or new names come up, but it's actually the same innovation that has been. Like same technology that has been there for almost 2 decades. There has been almost no innovation in this space. So similarly, the same goes with the meat industry or in other perishables as well.
But you're right. This is a traditional industry. It was innovated a couple of decades ago, and things been stale. There's no progress. Israel was at the cutting edge. What's happening in that market? These guys are pioneers. A lot of the tech you compete with is probably Israeli tech, right? Where are they? What are the products? How do you compete with a bunch of established companies coming out of that region, solving for that? And agri is a huge opportunity where they've contributed over the years. Yeah.
So, like as you mentioned, like Israeli, they have actually developed a special like the MAP packaging, modified atmosphere packaging. So that has been existing for almost 15, 20 years, which is widely used and well established, right? It's a plastic based and like it's a very simple, but yet it has been working so far. Yet see there is still a wastage. right? So to certain extent, great extent, it has been working, and we still, there is still a challenge. So that's where we thought, okay, even though there is a working solutions, we still see a 60% problem as mentioning. The supply chain has like a more during transportations and storage. There's still a big gap where we thought we could fit in. Like we could instead of saying a fit in, it's just more like we understand the problem and then we give out a solution that is more environmental friendly. So that's where also we say we came up with this compostable packaging solution that also extends the shelf life.
Interesting. And is there a roadmap for the the other categories you spoke about? Have you started working on it already?
For the retail, yes.
Yeah,
For the bulk ones, we already have been in the commercial stage.
Right.
For the retail, we're almost at the pilot stage where people are trying it out to get the feedback.
Yeah. But today with the current product as well, you cater to only a certain categories of fruits and vegetables. It's not extendable to all, right? So, can this tech work seamlessly on a watermelon or a mango or a banana and a lychee and whatever else? Or do you have to?
It's it depends on the customers again.
Right.
So does customer really need it? So that's always the question I ask. So I never force a customer. So it's important, right?
Yeah.
So it's just not it's not a single time thing. So we always want it solves their problem. So that's the most important aspect of what we do. So we always ask them a question: do you really need? If you're like buying in the morning and selling it in the evening, you don't really need that solution, right? So you are not the right customer, or you're not facing the challenge. So we look for such kind of customers where, as I mentioned, it's mostly export markets. That they need to reach out to.
But a lot of the products like lychees, as an example, they are export worthy, but they're not exportable. Right. So that's an opportunity.
I'll give you an example in India itself. So. India, we grow lychee. It's a short season. It's a 1.5 month. Just like last month, it has finished in May, June, right? So that's a short season market. And forget about the exports. Just in
domestic also. You just travel to the distance.
It grows in Bihar.
Yeah.
And the farmer who reached out to us, it's also again like he tried out of curiosity and then he loved it. So that's how we actually got that client as well. So he saw okay, this is a new solution in the market. We should try it on lychee. And then he tried it out. And then he actually came back and said to us, "Is like, guys, this is the amazing solution. We have been looking for this kind of solution."
So it's truly magical.
It's magic and science doesn't go well.
Fair. Good one. Good one.
So even though I get that comment a lot, the guy with the magic bag. This is what I got. I get that comment a lot.
Right.
But coming back to the lychee.
This must be coming from an American, no? The guy with the okay, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. So lychee, they have been growing in Bihar. Bihar is Bihar, Kolkata. That's a border region where lychee is grown a lot in India. So they just want to simply transport it to Mumbai, where there's a demand. I don't know why Maharashtrians eat a lot of lychee, but nevertheless.
Yes.
So they are losing almost 40% of lychee just by. In India you can reach east to west or north to south within 2 days, maximum 2 days, right? By train.
By train.
By train, 2 to 3 days, or maybe 4 days here and there. So they're not able to transport lychee, even that from east to west. By and 40% spoilage. It's just like it's. Doesn't make sense for them.
If you were to kind of quantify this 40% only for lychees, what's the size of the market? That we're losing on. Is it like $100 million market, $200 million market, $500 million
market?
It's
pretty. It's not $100 million. But it's still quite a decent amount.
Right.
Let's say 5 to 10 million.
It's also opening up a new market. If you start seeing lychee, for example, being exported or maybe traveling longer distance and being consumed different parts of the world, the market will also open up. Right? More people will grow it.
The farmers will be more keen. When they see that 40% of what I grow is getting spoiled,
everyone
they're disappointed.
Everyone benefits.
Right. So that's where he was able to keep lychee. He was sending it by train. Any delays. Now the 40% is reduced to less than 5%. He was so happy about it.
So I started off with saying unsexy startup. But this is very sexy, Manish.
No, I said it.
It's a massive problem. The idea is as to how do we socialize it.
I mean,
the wider audience.
Given the solution is so quite simple, doesn't make. Doesn't for the outside person, it looks very less sexy.
Coming in, listening to the radio, I picked up this guy. RJ said, "Simplicity is a taboo." Right? We look for complex solutions and we make a hash of that. But the best of the things come when they're simple.
Simple.
Yeah, in a simple way. Just going back to the roots and just kind of solving for that in a manner that is easy to understand, easy to deploy, and so on and so on. And that's what we build.
The science is still complex. It took time to build and bring up, but the delivery is simple, right? It's easy to consume. It's plug and play. You don't need to change system and processes.
But it's still difficult to raise money, I would imagine.
Given its simplicity, yes.
Yeah. So okay, we'll see as to how it shapes up. I'm sure you met with a bunch of investors and supporters. But what's the level of excitement, though? The people you've spoken with, do they get it? Is this something which the broader set would like to participate in?
There is always initial excitement. It's
right.
Because it's a magical bag, right?
Right.
So it's solving the problem.
Right. Yeah.
But like I had always some weird experiences where they're putting. When it comes to usage, so some of the investors they take almost ripened avocado, almost ripened bananas, and then put them in the bag. And they ask me, why is it not increasing the shelf life? So then
it's too late. It's too late.
Then I seem it's like, okay, I think you should revisit what exactly. Yeah. So that's, I also don't want to have investors like that as well.
You need to educate and you need to go slow and people will get it. But obviously, it's like finding customers. You knock on 10 doors, one agrees. Same thing here. You talk to 10 investors, one agrees, and that's the one you need. It takes time. How would you sell what does PeelON look like in 2030, 5 years from now? Not that far, 5 years from now, where is PeelON?
So what fruits and vegetables is one aspect of it. So we want to solve the problem again for most of the perishables. So that's entering into the flour, which we have already in R&D in process. So additional other markets, so we can touch upon. So that's what I see in next 5 years. If you ask me in a very long term, probably reversing the aging of fruits and vegetables. So that would be magical, I think. Then you can name it as a magic bag. Now it's just science-backed bag.
Excellent. No? And any tech which is out there, which sometimes as a founder, you look up to that company and saying, hey, this is something very complex to solve for in your field. Or you feel that, this could take away what you're building. So, either ways. So I think easier to answer what you admire as opposed to.
But I didn't see that. That's also one reason why we also stumbled upon this area is because they're not. We see companies raising a lot of millions with using the same technology that has been there, existing technologies, by having minor changes. Just the best example is the ethylene sachets. It's based upon one MCB technology, which was developed 1960s, 70s. So that's one compound absorbs ethylene, and release of this compound was being changed over 20, 30 years, and that's how the different companies have been evolving. So you can imagine there has been not so much innovation that happening. So it's also why we actually got into this as well. That also there is no innovation that is happening in this field. We should work on this.
Interesting. I want to go back to your backstory. Growing up, you've done 10, 15 years around this field. Was there a trigger in school that you said, I want to work with plants and vegetables? In our world, we were told to become an engineer or an accountant or a doctor. You took a very different path. Yes, you're a doctor. for the PhD sort of a thing, but it's a very different field you pick up.
Sure.
It's only a handful of people who kind of pick this as a subject and build a career out of that.
Mm-hmm.
Some people could be fascinated with that, but ends up as a hobby thing, but you build a career around that. What pushed you in this direction? What was the trigger growing up? Because that's how the seeds were sown, I would imagine, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm definitely not from, given my background, I'm not from a business background. Like my dad was a simple government employee. So my interest for science came up exactly when I was in third grade. Knowing the butterfly life cycle, so that was the key moment for me that I still remember. To be a scientist. My parents always wanted to me as a doctor, which I never, I am, but they wanted me to be a medical doctor, which did not happen.
That's okay.
But ended up being a scientist. So during that process, that's also something bothered me was. So we are developing nice, interesting aspects. So what inspires scientists is like it's an adrenaline rush every after sleepless nights and depressions. Like, oh, this is not working. This is not working. This is not working. So that rush actually, this is good. I mean, at a lab level, but we are not able to solve the real challenges what we are facing in a day-to-day life. So that inspired me, and also even Ravi, to actually get into entrepreneurship. So we should not just restrict ourselves to lab, but we have to translate that knowledge to real life applications. So where we could solve also real problems, not something which is 20 years ahead.
No.
Right.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. So just kind of wrapping it up, we figured out, I think your favorite fruit is what, a mango?
No. If you're saying fruit as blueberry is one, and also passion fruit.
Passion fruit, yeah. And obviously we know
banana.
Manish, banana. Is there a number 2 or a number 3 for you?
I eat all fruits equally. Love them.
Yeah, equally everything. Yeah. Any fruit or vegetable you would like PeelON team to tackle first? And saying once this is done, my job is over.
My job is already over.
Nothing like that?
No.
I think the best part of being in this industry is you can try all the fruits globally. When we go to the expo, I try out all kinds of fruits.
Yeah. And obviously you're going to expos, you're meeting clients, you're meeting investors. What's the most bizarre question a potential customer has asked or an investor has asked?
Yeah, two different people. Yes, they're two bizarre experiences, definitely. Yes.
Yeah, okay. Tell us one. Share one. You can include Manish in it. That's okay.
Investor is one. One of the investor, she took the bag. She filled it in the tap water, and then she actually said, why is it not biodegradable?
Okay.
It has supposed to be decomposed immediately.
Yeah.
Then, do you know what you're asking the question?
No, but please explain why is it not immediately biodegradable? No, we know, but audience needs to know.
Okay, good one.
When I say it's a compostable or biodegradable, so it needs the microbes. So when it touches the soil, it decomposes in 4 to 6 weeks. So over a period of time. So through microbial action, it decomposes into its elemental forms. So that's how the biodegradation.
But that's a very important point. We didn't talk about that. Obviously the solution is what it is, and 4 to 6 weeks is all it takes for it to just
disintegrate completely.
Yeah, excellent.
Residue free.
Residue free. Oh, here's another pitch friendly word. Okay. Any advice to Manish? He works with you.
He actually asked me which conditions it actually decomposes. I clearly told him. So it's fine. It's still it's a nice way of asking.
No, okay. No, but any message to a young Indian founder from both of you? Building this space, tackling a particular problem. Any thoughts?
I think probably everybody knows it's be curious and look for the problems. I say solution is easy to make, but it's just the problem is the important aspect of it.
Right.
Always look for the problems, understand the problem. So that's an important aspect.
Interesting. Manish? No, Manish is not yet the old wise man, right? He'll get there. He'll give a lot of advice. Yeah. If you were to describe PeelON as a superpower, that there is something. What is that one word? So it's not magic for sure. What is that? what are these powers, or what is that one particular power?
It's active intelligent packaging, right? So that's it looks simple, yet it does the multiple jobs in a simple way.
Yeah. Okay. And before we close, any moment where you thought this is not going to work? This is actually too good. Truly be true, right? I mean, it's not going to work. It's not going to happen.
I think multiple times.
And
so I keep it's again the customer is what our motivation was. So whenever a customer comes and says okay, it's actually solving my problem. So that's where we think that okay, this is actually working.
So at every point, the broccoli guy or the Mexico guy, coming back, or the lychee guy recently coming back, that just kind of helped you in good shape.
In place. So that gave us the motivation. Okay, we're really solving a problem.
Right.
So because it's like we don't want to make a solution and then trying to fit in the problem, right? So we want to solve the problem which is existing already. So that's where
so the
when
key
clients
message
come in, we know that it's actually solving some problem.
So the key message therefore is less time in the lab, more time
with the clients.
But obviously you got to do your time in the labs as well. Yeah. Any final thoughts, Manish?
What? Final thoughts.
Come on. There's one nugget of wisdom.
One line of wisdom.
One line of wisdom. Yeah.
No.
You want to close the session?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, guys. That's a wrap on this edition of Backstage with growX. Thank you, Tarak and Manish, for joining us. And if you like what you heard, and if you have any thoughts, comments, suggestions for Tarak, and maybe for Manish, please, send it our way. We're always looking for that. And until next time, stay curious, build hard, and remember, like you said, future isn't just coded, sometimes it's cultivated as well. Yeah. Cool. Thank you very much. All done.